Joining us on this broadcast on WION, and let me begin by asking you this. The 2014 elections were all about Prime Minister Narendra Modi. He's, of course, the man of the moment, and he has been in power for the last 5 years now. He's very charismatic. He's an excellent orator, but has he done enough to, in fact, seek another term? What's your opinion on this?
See, Mohammed, there are two things. One is, of course, there is certain charisma with Narendra Modi. But also the opposition this time, there is certain charisma of Narendra Modi, but also simultaneously, the opposition is very weak and they have been not able to forge what you call a grand alliance. They might call it Mahagathbandhan in certain states or grand alliance, but overall at a national level they have not been able to put an alliance together. So that is going to play a crucial role in this elections. However, in states like Telangana or Andhra Pradesh, where the regional parties are much stronger, I don't think that the Modi charisma is going to work that much. So, in certain states, I think that except Kerala, the BJP still would be, it would be interesting to see how much BJP can make headway in the new states where it was not present earlier, like West Bengal, Odisha, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. So far it seems that in Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, and except West Bengal and to a certain extent in Odisha, the BJP may gain the vote percentage, but it may not be able to have that many seats. The most interesting thing would be, for me, the first phase of polls, as I look at it, the most interesting thing would be to see how much is going to be the polling percentage, because that is going to be a very, very major factor whether this government is going to make a comeback or not.
I think that's a very significant point that you've raised, the polling percentage. Of course, we will get to know towards the end of this day. But Mr. Anand, the other issue that I want to look at here is in the year 2014, the performance of the BJP was spectacular in the Hindi heartlands, where they were able to sweep through states such as Uttar Pradesh, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat, virtually sweeping them with a strike rate of almost about 90%. Do you think the BJP this time round will be able to, one, repeat that performance, or secondly, would they be relying more on trying to expand into other states, such as in southern India and also in the northeast, to make up for any kind of deficits that they may incur in the Hindi heartland states?
You're right, Mohammed, that BJP has actually hit what you call the peak in several states in the Hindi heartland, to call, or the cow belt. But I think after Balakot incident, the tide has turned around, and the election, there is an emotional undertone to the election, and with nationalism being, as your correspondent was also saying, and you were also mentioning earlier, that nationalism has become one of the key agendas. So, when this kind of a issue becomes one of the key issues of poll agenda, then the caste equations and many other things, it overrides them. So, I would not be surprised if the BJP is able to repeat its performance in the Hindi heartland what it had in 2014. And especially in Uttar Pradesh, despite the Samajwadi Party BSP alliance, there is a lesson to be learned from the assembly elections which were held in UP, where Congress and Samajwadi Party had an alliance, and everybody was saying that with a combination of Yadav and Muslim votes and with the Congress vote share, they are going to do well, but BJP swept the polls. So, and similarly in states like Bihar, they have a formidable combination with Janata Dal U. The crux of the matter is, and in northeastern states, the people are expecting that there could be some impact of the this national registration of citizens issue, but I think as far as I know, and my sources have told me, the BJP's internal assessment is that in northeast they are going to get at least 20 out of 25 seats. In West Bengal they are doing very well. In Odisha they are in fight, but to touch the double-digit figure. However, in the southern states, in Tamil Nadu, though they have an alliance, but it is not going to make much headway. In Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, I think it's the regional parties, the fight is between them. The most important aspect in this is that Congress is getting out of race in many of the states which were its strongholds earlier. So we are seeing the decimation of a centrist party, which is a cause of great concern for Indian democracy, because apart from Congress, the rest of the parties are regional outfits. So I think it's this election is not only about only the emergence of the BJP. We also have to see the changing composition of the Congress. And for me personally, it would be a cause of concern if Congress doesn't do well. And it seems right now that the Congress is not doing so well.
All right, I think that's an interesting analysis that you've made. It'll be important to see as to how Congress in fact fares in this election. Last time round, they had been reduced to just 44 seats. Now, Mr. Anand, the other important issue is that this election is being watched very closely across the world and not just in India. And the recent trends that we've noticed is a clear and a decisive tilt towards the right, be it the recent elections that took place in Israel, where Benjamin Netanyahu is back in power, or in Brazil, where Jair Bolsonaro, an extreme right-wing candidate, was able to sweep through and come to power in Brazil. We saw this happen with the rise of Donald Trump in the United States as well. So if the BJP were to return back to power, does it mean that the country decisively tilts towards the right?
Mohammed, that's a very interesting point you have made. But, I think BJP is not a right-wing party, though that has been the general perception. But I don't consider BJP to be a typical right-wing party. It's a little bit conservative party. You can say it's like, if we compare it with Britain, it would be like a conservative party of the Britain. But because their approach in economic reforms is exactly opposite to what you call the right-wing approach. They are in favor of economic reforms. They are in favor of greater global trade. They are in favor of integration with the global economy. Unlike leaders, unlike the policies adopted by leaders like Donald Trump. So it's a very BJP. The way BJP is emerging, it's very interesting. It breaks the stereotype of a typical right-wing party. So as far as the concept of nationalism is concerned, of course, you can put BJP in that bracket, but when it comes to economic policies, BJP cannot be treated as a right-wing party. So I would rather be cautious terming it as a right-wing, emergence of the right-wing in the country. I would say it's kind of emergence of the conservatives relatively in the country. And BJP is quite liberal in its approach on a large amount of issues. In fact, I think it's much more liberal than Congress, which has taken an extremely left of the center position, which is reflected in its manifesto also. And the way the Congress president has been accusing all the industrialists, and the way Congress has opposed, industrialization in states like Odisha, because there are certain projects which were opposed by the locals, and the stand which Congress has taken. So Congress is actually going more and more left of the center. BJP is in the similar position, but when you look in the relative sense, so obviously BJP looks a much more right-wing party.
All right, I think that's an interesting analysis. Thank you very much indeed, Mr. Arun Anand, for joining us and getting us your perspective on how you view this election. It, of course, is going to be interesting.